So the first step in training for speed should be with tool selection. And I've noticed something through many years traveling around the world, that the biggest problem with people developing speed and power in Philippine martial arts is, quite honestly, they have a stick that's too small and light for them, and it's really small in diameter. So here's one of my wife's sticks. This is 7/8 inch diameter, and it's just too small for my hand. It fits her hand perfectly, not good for my hand. So what you're looking to do in Pekiti-Tirsia is get a stick diameter that is big enough so when you roll your hand like this, the forefinger and middle finger touch your palm. The ring finger does not touch your palm. And that gives you a good control, good firm grip. You also want a stick that's heavy enough. I mentioned in previous videos, this is yellow rattan from northern Indonesia, Manao, it's usually called. I believe the island, northernmost island or largest northernmost island in Indonesia is Manao, the name. And it's used for furniture making. It's a very good wood. Unfortunately, a lot of people use a different species from the Philippines. I think the two most common rattan species used in eskrima sticks are tumalum and lapsica, which is thinner wood. It's rare to get something, of this, it's rare to get something larger than that size. So get a thick piece of rattan that fits your hand. The next is, if your Pekiti-Tirsia length, you want something as long as your arm. You want to hold that with a counterbalance no more than one hand from the bottom. The relationship here is, the lower you have the stick, your grip, the more power you have, but the less control. The higher up you go, the more control, you'll be faster, but you're losing power because too much counterbalance. So, you see some guys on YouTube whip sticks around, but they got a very long counterbalance here, and it's doing flashy stuff. It's not going to hit with the same amount of power as if they're holding it lower. You want some counterbalancing on. The minimum I would put is 1 thumb length. It's very common in Pekiti-Tirsia, especially with a full length stick, to go 1 hand from the bottom. But you want something that, in case your hand slips, it's not going to ride off the stick. This stick, I placed a wooden ball in the end to act as a counterbalance. You'll see that concept on medieval swords, where they'll put a iron or brass nut on the bottom to act as a counterbalance. And I would hold this one lower than 1 full hand width, because I had that counterweight here that helped move the stick, and I can move that pretty quickly. The demo I did in Germany, out in the parking lot doing the spotted dagger very quickly with a guy, that was using this stick with that ball counterbalance. For the advanced people, I would like you to have a training tool that gives you a point of reference for where the cutting edge is. So here is just a cheap $20 axe handle, replacement handle I got from one of the big tool stores, Home Depot or Lowe's. I cut off the ends so that it would match the size of my small sword or short sword, which would be a 1 cubit in length, elbow to fingertips measurement. And I have that end on the flare is just about my thumb length, and that acts as a counterbalance. This is a good short sword length, and it's a good weight. It's a heavy hickory, a good fighting weight. It matches a sword of that size and weight fairly well. If you can afford it, the ones I prefer are really the polymer trainers from Volpe's training. They hold up very well on impact, and you can get Chris over to make a sword that matches your hand. And the grip is, again, forefinger, middle finger touch your palm, ring finger almost but not quite touches. And if you have a rise here where the middle finger is, you can take that smaller end and have it a little smaller so your fingers are closer to your palm. You still have a good grip. And again, this is from where my hand ends, elbow to fingertip, 1 cubit is a good short measurement. So that is our training tools.